right, good morning, everybody. Can you guys all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, all right. So thank you for joining us today. We're from Cornerstone Bank, and we are going to talk about mobile banking today. So doing banking with your phone, all the benefits, all the risks, everything that goes along with it. So my name is Nicole. I'm the Community Relations Manager at Cornerstone Bank, and then we also have Shannon with us.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shannon Saborin. I'm with Cornerstone Bank. Oh, sorry. That better? That better? Okay. My name is Shannon Saborin. I'm with Cornerstone Bank, and I'm in the digital banking department. So I wanted to go over some of the tips for mobile banking, the risks versus the rewards. Our agenda today will be our introductions, again, who we are and where we're from. The benefits of mobile banking, the risks involved in mobile banking, how you can defend yourself, and then we're going to wrap up with a conclusion and questions. So our introductions, again, I'm Shannon Saborin. I'm the Assistant Vice President for the Digital Banking Department. I've been in banking for over 25 years, so I've seen pretty much anything and everything that can come in the world of mobile and in fraud. And here's Nicole. You want to go ahead and give your...
So I'm Nicole DeGregorio. I'm the Community Relations Manager at Cornerstone Bank. I've been doing this for a little bit over a year and a half now, going around and presenting stuff like this to lovely people like you guys.
Okay, I'm going to get started. So a couple things I wanted to go over is a lot of people are intimidated by mobile banking because they think is it something just for certain generations, or does it meet the needs for many generations? So here's some statistics that we found over the years. The American Bankers Association, this was publicized in October of 2021, goes over the different generations and the popularity of use. So you'll see the baby boomers are there and they're chugging along. So a lot of baby boomers are using mobile banking. We'll be able to reference the slides again later. This is going to go over some of the tips of the self-usage of mobile banking, what things are most popular. So right now, mobile deposits are the most popular. For anybody that's still receiving paper checks in the mail, you can actually take a picture with your mobile phone of your deposit and make the deposit to the bank that way without having to bring the check physically to the bank. So that's a nice feature. You view your statements and your account balances. You can transfer funds. You can use bill pay. So there's lots of perks to mobile banking. I'm going to dive into what some of those benefits are. Mobile banking, you basically have a bank in your pocket 24/7. You can see your accounts, you can see your balances, see your transactions at any point, any time of the day. So that makes that convenience so much more important. You're not tied to the bank hours or the branch hours or having to get in your car in a snowstorm to go out to the bank. Mobile banking is always there for you. And like we said, at any time of the day, any time of the year, you don't have to worry about holidays, you can still log in. Also, if you have any impairments and traveling is difficult, mobile banking is a great convenience. And we all know with COVID, there was a huge impact. Nobody was really going anywhere. Everything was locked down. So mobile banking really increased quite a bit due to COVID-19. Different types of things you can do with mobile banking. You can create payees and send one-time payments or schedule them to be reoccurring. If you have a car payment or an insurance payment, you can set it up in bill pay and let that payment reoccur for you. You set it up once and it just repeats on its own. So some people like to do that, others don't. I'm a control freak. I do not like to do that. I would rather go in and make my payments one at a time, but there's tons of benefits there. You can stop and reduce the amount of physical checks you write and mail, so that's going to save your check orders. It's going to save you on postage, envelopes, making that trip to the post office. And bank-to-bank transfers. If you have multiple banks, mobile banking will allow you to transfer funds between your financial institutions, whether that's through writing a check and making a mobile deposit from one account to another, or actually doing an electronic transfer between your banks. Person-to-person payments, we're also allowing those. You can actually set up, if you would normally send a grandchild $25 for their birthday, you can set them up in Zelle and electronically transfer the funds right to them. They don't have to wait to collect funds on a check or anything like that. The money's 100% available as if you handed them $25 in cash. So there's some great services there. So this really, mobile banking actually lets you dig into what your transactions are. You see your activity in real time. If somebody had a check that you wrote to them and they came to the bank to cash it, you'd be able to see that check right away. It would be deducted right from your account as that person's doing the transaction, and you can see that right online. You can set up alerts to be notified of your account balance or transactions as they post to your account. You can set up email notifications or text messages that'll automatically deliver to you with the information you're asking for. Deposit a check anywhere, anytime in mobile banking. And early direct deposit. So Cornerstone Bank offers a benefit to our customers where we allow you to use the money that's coming in for a direct deposit up to 2 days prior to the effective date of that deposit. So if you had a check coming in on the 3rd of every month, we're going to give that money available to you on the 1st of every month. That's one of the benefits of Cornerstone. We also have value-added services. We allow you to be able to search through your mobile banking for all of our branch locations and hours and ATMs. You can quickly call the bank through your mobile banking. We also offer now chat, so you can, if you don't want to call the bank, you can open a chat session and you can type a text message to the bank and the bank will respond. You have a 25% chance it'll be me responding to you. We handle the chat sessions. And we've seen a range of questions come in, so we're building out chat to develop it further. But right now, that is a feature we do offer. Secure email, and like I said, chat communications with the bank. Secure email allows us to exchange documents with you through your online banking. So you're logged into a secure site. If you need a statement or an image of a check or something like that, you're having a hard time finding it, we can email you back through your online banking that document itself to be able to exchange that information. So that goes into secure email. We also have budgeting and tracking tools for those people that like to keep track of, I want to spend X amount of money on heat, electricity, on my car. You can have a budgeting and tracking tool within our online banking. We have secure forms where you can notify us if you're traveling. Let us know you're traveling and we'll be able to flag your card for use in the state or the country that you're going to. There's many other forms there too. If you need to order a new debit card, if you need to set up a wire, things of that sort, is all in our secure forms that we make available to you. We like our mobile banking to be as self-service as possible, as if you were coming to a branch. We consider our mobile banking our virtual branch. So security, there's a lot of security behind mobile banking, but you help with that security and the choices that you make. So usernames is a very important one. We ask you to choose strong usernames. You don't want to put your first and last name. You don't want to put the name of the bank. You just want to list something that's unique, easy to remember for you, but not easy for someone who might want to do you harm to guess. Password protection, we have strong passwords as well. We also have other layers of security behind those passwords. Each profile is individually owned, and by that what I mean is if you have a joint account, a husband and a wife have an account together, online banking is owned by one person. So if John and Sally Smith own accounts together, John registers for online banking, that's John's online banking. Sally can register for her own online banking and submit forms and all of that stuff, but it's individually owned. Multi-factor authentication. Big word and it does a big job. So that's part of what we mean by all the security that's built behind mobile banking. There's risk scores for each and every transaction you do, every login you do, the device you use, tons of security and risk measures behind all of those things. We don't necessarily go into the details of what all of that is for security purposes, but we as the bank have a lot of layers listed and working for mobile banking. Biometrics, fingerprint and facial recognition. Anybody here have a smartphone? No smartphones? Okay. So smartphones allow people to use shortcuts. One of them is fingerprint authentication, where if you put your finger on a certain button, it scans your fingerprint, opens the phone up for your use. Another one a lot of apps use is facial recognition, where it will actually scan an image of your face. Now they have them for face masks too, where it will scan an image of your face, and basically that's your passcode. Your face is your passcode to get into your phone. So that's what we mean by biometrics, finger and facial recognition. And security monitoring systems. We have third-party systems that look at our online banking and measure what you're doing to determine if it's risky, if we should authenticate with additional information. So there's tons of monitoring that goes on that the bank is responsible for. Now we want to get into what some of the risks are. And these risks are not only related to mobile banking, but actually banking and life in general. Here are some of the red flags to look out for. Now, with the number of years that we've been in banking, we've seen a lot of things. So some of these things may sound scary, but we just want to share the information so you're aware of what may happen out there, what we're seeing happen, and what to avoid. So you want to basically try to avoid any unsolicited contacts from any unknown sources. By that I mean, if you're having a phone, some random phone number ring on your phone and you don't recognize it, don't answer it. Let it go to voicemail. Chances are it's somebody trying to fish for information they don't need. So a company or person that's instructing you to do something, you want to question that. Does this make sense? Why is this company asking me to do this? If it isn't something you've asked for, you want to pause and take a second look at it before you do anything. Device repair, this is a big one. We get McAfee warnings, we get, what's the other ones we got?
The Microsoft.
Microsoft, we get Amazon. A lot of people will call and say, Amazon contacted me. They're not going to contact you to do that. McAfee's not going to contact you. Dell, any of those places are not going to contact you and say, we noticed you have a virus. That's a fraudster just trying to get your information. So they use those tactics to scare you. Sometimes they use language and intimidation. They try to get rough and aggressive. So you want to try to avoid any of those things. Those are red flags. They're asking you for remote access to your computer or your smartphone. They're asking you to wire funds, to take out a personal loan. I'm going to pause here for a moment. One of the banks I worked for, there was a gentleman that came and took out a loan to do repairs on his house. He wanted new windows. I think he took a $10,000 loan. A couple weeks later, we had somebody calling the bank saying they were him. And clearly it didn't sound like him. So we asked a bunch of questions. Turns out this gentleman was being scammed by somebody over a period of time. They convinced him to go take out a personal loan, told him what to tell the bank, told him if the bank asks you any other questions, you tell them it's none of their business, and basically he sent $10,000 to the fraudsters. So all of it, the bank will ask you questions sometimes, and it may seem like we're being nosy. The reason why we're asking those questions, if any of these red flags come up for us, we're trying to do what we can to protect you and to give you a way out if the fraudster's harassing you. So there are some scary things that we've heard over time. If they tell you don't talk to your bank, don't tell your bank anything. That's a red flag. If they ask you to go to the store and purchase gift cards, that's a huge red flag. We're hoping some of the retail stores in our area will begin monitoring this as well. And these are not $25 gift cards they're asking for. We had a customer the other day that spent $2,800 on gift cards and read the codes to the fraudster over the phone, and that money was gone. So, money offerings, if they say you won the lottery, you have an inheritance, or there's a lawsuit or something, you have no idea what that's about, that's a red flag. if they're aggressive or intimidating, or they send you urgent requests. Some of them will be asking for immediate payment, and they're asking you to use Zelle, Venmo, or PayPal, because those are not as easy to track payment methods. And those payment methods, typically, once the money is gone, it's gone, like a wire. If they tell you you have a family member or friend that has a lost wallet or passport, they're in the hospital or they're jailed, the next thing they're going to tell you is, oh, their phone doesn't work, don't bother calling them, I'm calling you for them. Hang up, call your loved one, check in, chances are everything's fine. Love scams. So we had a married customer at another bank I worked for that fell for a love scam with someone and was sending him money on a regular basis. And it ended up that she was out thousands of dollars because she was being scammed. But in the end, that's a difficult conversation to have with your spouse. But there are plenty of them out there. Things that sound too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Work from home. This is popular, even more popular since COVID, where some people are trying to get back into the workforce, but they're looking for other options where they can work from home. Some of them will advertise, make $1,000 in a week, things of that sort. Chances are you're going to be robocalling, or there's fraud involved with things like that. Social media. When you get social media unfamiliar requests for friends or connections, chances are it's going to be a scammer, somebody trying to make a connection, see if they can get you on the hook, and start applying all of these other red flags to see what they can get from you. So you want to question any of those. Receiving a digital check and instructions to take a photocopy of it or an image of it from your computer and deposit it. This one's big, and they also tell you, oh, I'm going to send you $10,000, and then you really just need to send me $1,000 and keep $9,000 for yourself. They're chasing the fact that that check, you're going to send them the $1,000 before that check comes back. So then you're on the hook for $10,000. So this does happen quite a bit. You never want to take a picture of a computer, a picture of a check through an email or anything like that. Digital purchase, overpayment. This is a newer one. People that shop online, Craigslist, eBay, anything like that, some people will offer to buy something from you, or they'll send you money by accident and then ask you to send it back to them. Really, the way they sent you the money was through a stolen credit card, and by the time you've sent them cash back, the stolen credit card is found, and then you're on the hook for that transaction. So, unsolicited anything unsolicited should always be a red flag. If you didn't ask for connection with this person or ask for a transaction or something to do with the company, chances are someone's just looking to do harm. Some of the defenses you can have. So mobile device defense. Whether you have a smartphone or you use computer banking, you want to have a strong password. Passwords are very important. Biometrics, you want to use those biometrics. Somebody might be able to guess what your password is for your phone, but they can't copy your fingerprint. They can't copy your face. I'd like to copy a face once in a while, but they can't. So, update your operating system. Make sure you're keeping up to date on everything that's coming through your computer, your smartphone that says, oh, we have a system update, run those updates. Those are important patches. If you're going to purchase apps, only do so from your secure app provider. If you have an Android, you want to go to the Google Play Store. If you have an Apple, you want to make sure you're going through the iTunes Store. Avoid all unsolicited communications. Don't answer the phone if you don't recognize the number. You see an email come through and you don't know who sent it to you, delete it. Just try to avoid any of those temptations that they're trying to hit you with. A lot of text messages now too. People are texting tiny links or a bunch of codes, and you click on it and it's installing malware. So you want to avoid anything that you didn't ask for. Another important thing about text messages, everybody who has a phone has most of their family and friends in their phone and their contacts. So if someone's texting you and it's someone you know, it'll come up in your contacts with that person's name. So then you know it's safe to communicate with them. If it's something that comes up that you don't recognize, just delete it. Avoid public Wi-Fi. This is important. Public Wi-Fi is not as secure as what you could have at home with your own internet and a password protection, so you want to avoid public Wi-Fi. Telephone defense. Block fraudsters and robocallers, so hang up on them. If you want, scream in the phone before you hang up on them. Hopefully they won't call you back. But if you don't recognize the number, don't call. Be suspicious of unsolicited phone calls. We kind of covered that. And that all ties into your banking security. Social media defense. Make sure you use a unique set of credentials to any social media that you use. Don't use the same credentials in your online banking that you use in social media. Should be something completely different. Review and adjust your privacy settings. So different social media platforms have different settings where if you're posting something, it can be shared openly, or you can have it shared private with just your friends and family. Don't transact with people you don't know and trust. So again, we're talking about anybody from eBay or someone contacting you saying, oh, I have this check, and if you clear it for me, you can keep a portion. You don't know them, don't trust them. Avoid social media giveaways and quizzes. So this is a big one, and it seems harmless enough. Everybody, I'm sure, has seen social media things with what animal spirit are you, or something like that. By filling in the information or clicking on it and letting it scan through your social media, you're actually sharing personal information with that person, with that company, whoever is doing that quiz. They're just looking to fish information from you to use against you. So avoid those quizzes. Nothing really good comes from them. In conclusion, we want you to be empowered. Mobile banking is a quick and efficient, easy to use system. The most important thing for everybody to remember is a mobile phone is nothing more than a tiny computer in your pocket. It's not foolproof. It has the same power as a desktop computer, and you want to apply the same type of security and precautions around that. But by using these red flags and skills that we're teaching you today, you can be empowered to not be a victim. And again, how we incorporate the bank incorporates all these layers of security to help protect you, but you're a pivotal part of that protection in your usernames, your passwords, and your activity. So in summary, online banking is a personal choice. You can share your due diligence by protecting your personal information. Mobile banking is risk measured. When you know better, you do better.